Welcome to Stretford Paddock. I'm Ronaldo Brown, and this is the news at Old Trafford. And I can't even begin to describe how cold I am. It is absolutely brass. It's freezing. That's why I need to get this over and done. It's about 10 in the morning now. It's a little bit later news for you. And it's not made the weather any warmer at all. It's so cold. But anyway, I'm not sure about you, but I don't know, I'm still kind of in a bit of bemusement about last night's game, really. I feel like it's one that's got away. I think PSG were there for the taking. I don't think they deserved the 3-1 win. I feel like we gave them the game basically on a plate. And I don't know, it's going to take me a little while to get over it. I know it wasn't pivotal in terms of the fact that we are still top of the group stages, but it was a chance for us to make the rest of the Champions League group stages, one more game, a little bit more comfortable. And in the typical United fashion in recent times, we made things more difficult for ourselves. And looking at the game in its entirety, obviously people are blaming Martial and his miss, Fred and his indiscipline, Ollie and his management in terms of not taking Fred off when it looked basically inevitable that he was going to be sent off. I don't know. It's a bit of a difficult one to take. It's a tough pill to swallow, but we're going to have to move on from it. And obviously we've got West Ham on Saturday. We need to kick on, and hopefully the game yesterday, in combination with the Istanbul result, doesn't come and bite us in the next game, because now we go into the Leipzig game having to get a result in some way, shape or form. And maybe that's what we might need. We might need added incentive, but it's not the best way to go about it. But as for the news, I'm going to get into a few, obviously some following on from some news from yesterday in terms of injuries, stuff that Solskjaer might have mentioned post-game, and a little bit of transfer news going into Jan, because obviously we're less than a month away from the January transfer window where United might look to strengthen. So let's get into the news without further ado. And with the first bit of news, it is surrounding young French midfielder Eduardo Camavinga. And obviously this was a story that came out yesterday. I'm not sure how credible it is. It was reported from the Daily Star, but it was then second sourced by Sky Sports Premier League as well. So I'm not sure how believable it is. It's apparently that he's available for 45 million euros for a young prodigious talent, as they say. He's 18 years old. He's already got over 50 league appearances in the French league. Some may call it a farmers league, but it still takes some doing. He's got 3 appearances for France as well, and he looks quite talented when you look at him. He's quite dynamic. He's very much box to box. He looks more of an attacking type. He's quite good on the ball. He loves a dribble as well for someone that plays in midfield. He's got a good physicality to him for such a young age. He's only basically just turned 18 in November. And he looks like a real prospect, but 45 million euros is quite a steep price tag for someone that might possibly not be a game changer right now for United. Where United are right about now, we need players that are going to come in and basically push us forward straight away. It's not the time really to be adding squad depth. I feel like we've got just about enough depth right about now. I think when we're looking for transfers, it needs to be players that are going to come in and be first choice right away and take us to the next level. And I'm not sure he does that. If you can get him possibly a little bit cheaper than that, I know in the current climate in terms of transfers and money in the game, it might not seem like a steep price tag, but you remember we signed Diallo for around the same price. Obviously we signed Pelestri. These are young players, and I know it's not quite a foreign transfer policy. When I say foreign, I'm talking about in terms of out of the ordinary for United to kind of go for the younger kind of prospects when they sign people. Someone that can be a project, someone that could possibly end up making us money in the future, or end up looking like a quite shrewd bit of business in the future. Obviously he's not quite prolific. I think he's only got 2 goals in about 50, 60 plus appearances for Rennes. So he's not found the kind of goal scoring kind of nuance to the game yet. But he looks like a player with some talent, and who knows, it might be a transfer that happen, but I don't see it happening in Jan. And obviously with it being reported only by the Daily Star, with obviously Sky Sports following the story, I'm not sure how believable it is. But let me know what you think about Eduardo Camavinga. Is that a transfer that you'd like to see happen? Do you think we need him? Obviously, we've got midfield options. Some of them, a lot of us are not quite convinced by, as we shown by yesterday. So I'm not completely against the possibility of signing a midfielder, but it depends on whether it's the right one. So let us know what you think about Eduardo Camavinga, the interest that we possibly have in him. Would you sign him for 45 million euros, or are you not quite convinced as of yet? Just let me know what you think in the comments. But that was it for that bit of news right there. And with the next bit of news, if last night weren't bad enough in terms of the result in itself, obviously losing 3-1 at home. Losing at home seems to be a habit that we seem to be picking up, and it's one that we need to shake. But there's been a couple of injury issues that possibly might have materialised from last night, and that includes Rashford and his shoulder. Going forward, obviously Scott McTominay, I always call him Scott McTominay, I know it's Scott McTominay, but obviously this might pronounce that wrong, but I feel like because you kind of mentioned the fact that that is the wrong way of pronouncing it, it makes me want to say it more. But anyway, it's come out that he might have a shoulder injury, Rashford, and it's not too much of a strange one to find out that Rashford has an injury going into a game, because it's come to basically common knowledge that Rashford plays a majority of his games with injuries, and apparently it's not something significant. Solskjaer said it's only something minor, possibility that he might not train today but could be still available for Saturday. It shows that Rashford's importance to United is quite pivotal. The fact that even when he has got a bit of a knock, you can't really get him out of the team. I think he was the best of a bad bunch in terms of our front four yesterday. I don't think Bruno had a good game. I don't think Cavani had a good game. Martial definitely had a good game. I think Rashford wasn't great, but I still think that he showed a little bit more attacking threat than the rest of them. And he has found a little bit of goal scoring form recently, so we would like to carry that on, obviously, when we go away to West Ham on the weekend. And hopefully the injuries isn't too bad. But it's something that we'll have to keep an eye on the next couple of days when the press conference comes out pre-game. We'll have to see what he says. That's it for the news, really. There's not been much as of late. With January basically around the corner, you expect it to kind of liven up as we get towards the end of the month. But as for Eduardo Camavinga, and obviously a couple of injury issues with Rashford and McTominay going into the weekend, we'll have to see how that quite unfolds. Maybe we find out more news in the next couple of days, and we'll obviously have it for you on Stretford Paddock. As for me, that's it from me, really. I'm going to get off to somewhere warm, probably at the gym, because you see how massive I am. But yeah, this has been news at Old Trafford. Old Trafford, where we happen to keep losing. And it's probably a habit that we need to get rid of. Maybe it'll change when fans are allowed back in the stadium. We can give our club a little bit of a push in our home games. But this has been Ronaldo. This is Stretford Paddock. And it's been the news at Old Trafford.
Head over to stretfordpaddock.bigcartel.com and check out the Paddock merch. And for a short time, you can get 20% off orders with 2 items or more using the code Paddock20. Go get on it.